Good evening and welcome. Good evening and welcome. It's waiting for somebody to come in. I don't see anybody yet. Be in shortly here. All right. I'll wait till they in here so I don't have to repeat myself all the time. Okay. Yeah, I'm getting ready to come across. I started my show. I'm starting my show. All right. I'll be right there. Um, we have five people in the room. So now I can go ahead and say hello and welcome. Welcome to my live stream, Fight CPS, Stop Taking Our Children. I'm your host, Bob Pace, and it's a warm welcome that you found me on Facebook. And hello, Nancy. I remember talking to you this morning. I think it was this morning, Nancy, but hi there. And I'm trying to do well, but thank you for asking, Nancy. But were you the one that talked to me earlier this morning? I think you did on the phone. I hope you did. Um, hope I don't got it all confused or anything. Okay. Um, Let me see here. Okay. Okay. Anyway, last night it was Nancy. Okay, it was last night on the phone. Well, thank you for clarifying that, Nancy. What part of the world? There's Andrea, and she's from Kankakee, and that is outside Chicago in Illinois. I know Andrea. She talked this morning, and Nancy was last night. I think Nancy's from North Carolina. Am I correct, Nancy? Am I correct? I tried to make sure it is correct there. But I'm glad you found me, and because I will help you. You're struggling right now with an agency that I call the Child Protection System. I abbreviate for short CPS. It also is called CPS in Orange County, California. It's called CPS a lot of other places too. And in LA County, it's called the Department of Children and Family Services. And in Prescott, the home of the Pink Ladies. And I can tell you about that story, but that was a terrible ending to the Pink Ladies. But they're called DCS, Department of Children's Services. And then over in Richmond, Kentucky, it's called the Cabinet. So no matter where you're at, just call it CPS. It's so simple. There's so many different names, it take me forever to quote all the names. So when I say CPS, it's the government entity that was started by an act of Congress in 1962, which informed social services to create a body of social workers that will protect our children from neglect or abuse. Also, they're supposed to do what's called family reunification. That's where they put the family back together if they have to break the family apart because the children are in danger. But it seems lately that almost all the cases, they take the children right away, whether they're in danger or not. It all boils down to is money. It's all about money. They get $20,000 per child per month for any child they take into custody. They get additional $35,000 from the federal government to have if the child's adopted into foster care. That was the Incentive Act in 1997, signed by Bill Clinton. He was so proud of that, I guess, but they didn't want to take time to do family reunification. And what I'm sorry about is family reunification is really important. It really is really important. So, with that being said, okay. Now, what we got to do there, oh, the blue light's gone. That's weird. Okay. The blue light's gone. Why is the blue light? Oh, this is not my. Okay, I'm confused. I know in the little details. Okay, got one there. All right. Now, okay. Um, I have a comment here to text a message. If you want to text a message, that's one of the housekeeping things, and I got really thumbs up. Hello, Margaret King. I haven't talked to you in ages. What's the latest on your case? She gave me a thumbs up. And Kenny Parker, I think you're new and welcome, and I'm glad to meet you. Let me see who else we got there. North Carolina. I thought I said that. Did I say North Carolina? I guess not. Oh, okay. Anyway, I got it figured out now. Where are the comments there? North Carolina, that's right. And I said something about Dorothy Cooks, North Carolina, Bruce. There's a bunch of people. There's about 4 or 5 people from North Carolina that have problems that you're having too. It's terrible. some of the things are. And Andre's problem is they're accusing her with a gun. It's so bad. Some of you guys got some really bad situations going on. Now, I want to help you. I certainly want to help you. In order to help you, I need to hear some questions from you, some questions. And right now, my banner says you can text me a question, you can text a message, either make it a question or a comment. Please state your first name and your location. And if you're in the United States, don't list the USA. But if you're outside the United States, one of my 25 other countries, please list your country. Yes, I am on international. There's a total, including the US, of 26 countries, over 3,050 people that have talked to me over 25 months. I've been doing this for over 2 years. I started October 2023. And I'm here with resources and information to help you with your case. Now, we started off with a good group of people, and all of a sudden, everybody left. I'm down to one person. I guess they got other things to do. Anyway, it's great. I can work with the people in a room, Nancy and Andrea and anybody else that comes in. I'm here for you guys. I'm here to help you. And there's another way, another housekeeping thing I have that you can do is you can be a guest on my live stream. To be a guest on my live stream, all you have to do is pick one of my 14 live streams. Now, I'm on every day, 7 days a week. In the morning, weekdays, Monday through Friday, it's 10 a.m. On the weekend, it's Saturday and Sunday at 8 a.m. Then every night of the week, all 7 days at 7 p.m. So you email me your name, your phone number, and your email with one of the 14 live streams you want. You just say, I want to be in Bob's Sunday morning show, or Bob's Friday night show, or Bob's Wednesday morning show, or Monday night show. You just give me night or morning and Monday through Sunday. If you want to be on all 14, I welcome you to be on all 14. And I love to have you. And then the rules are simple. We do not, we're very respectful on here, and there'll be no in here making people feel uncomfortable. CPS is a very uncomfortable, and it's so hard that you got caught up in it because you really don't know what to do. I am going to try to help you. I'm a resource with a lot of years experience. I've been fighting CPS for 15 years. I too had a case in CPS where not only did they come out, they fought me for 5 years of taking false allegations. And these were made by lay people. They were my in-laws, and they were my wife's mother, father, 3 sisters, and a brother. They would constantly call in to CPS and tell them what awful things that we're doing to our children, or make them up, fabricate them. Well, CPS has a thing. Anybody that calls in, a lay person or a professional are doctors and nurses and school teachers and principals, counselors and caregivers, firemen and policemen. Those are professionals. But if a professional calls in or a lay person calls in, like your neighbor, your relatives, a person down the street, your family members, even the children, or whatever it is, they call in. Those are lay people. It's usually, they're right about 25% of the time. Professionals are right about 50% of the time. It's a 50-50 deal that you'll get a CPS will work with you. Most of the time, they traffic your children into foster care, they have them adopted, and you never see them again. It's really sad what they do. It really is sad what they do. So, I'm here as a resource. Now, I'm a married man with 43 years of marriage experience, and I've helped raise 6 children. And one's in their 40s, 2 in their 30s, and the other 3 are in their 20s. And it's 3 boys and 3 girls. And my young ones were the ones that were taken. And it was really sad that they were taken. There's no question about that. It was really sad. But I can relate what I did, the mistakes that went wrong. In fact, to make 5 rules that if I followed those 5 rules, I never would have my children trafficked into foster care. They never would be taken from my home. There's simple rules. 1 is attorney, 2 is documentation, 3 is to say no, and and don't let them in your home. Don't talk to them. That goes for the police. 4 is how they use the internet and how to arrange your words and research things quickly. And 5 is make copies of important documents and you use your copies to show social workers, like your birth certificate and those kinds of things. Your marriage license. Now, I had on there to be a guest, and my email, by the way, if you didn't write it down, is bobp@vincentwdaves.com. And when you send that to me, I'll forward it on to my producer, who will put you on my show. Now, I have another thumbs up, another like from Kenny Porter and Margaret King. And Margaret King is from Kern River. She's hired Vincent Davis, who's my attorney. Lastly, I need to put my phone number up. That way you can call in at 626-698-0990. And I'd like you to call in. There's no question about that. Okay. Oh. How much is brown? Okay. Okay, I can't. Okay. All right. Okay. 4. Okay. Now, I had mentioned countries. I have 25 countries. I have Indonesia, Bangladesh, and India. Then up to the Middle East, I have Saudi Arabia and Iraq and Libya. Then over to the continent of Africa, I have Liberia, Sudan, Republic of Congo, Rwanda, Mozambique, and then the country of South Africa with its provinces. Then up to Europe, I got the United Kingdom, England, Scotland, and Wales. I got Germany, Denmark, and Sweden. Then across the pond, I got North America, I got Canada, and its provinces. And then I got the United States and all 50 states. I heard from all 50 states, including Washington, D.C. Then south of the border, Mexico. Then in Central America, Belize. And then in South America, north of Brazil, Grenada, as on the east coast of South America. Then across to the South Pacific, I have New Zealand, and then the land down under Australia and its states. So that's a lot of people. That's where my 3,050 people come from. That's where they come from. So I do want to help you. And I've had to help the people. There's definitely ways I've done that. My number's up. And if you called in once before, it's okay to call again. So don't be intimidated, Nancy, Andrea, or anybody else listening, Margaret King, any of you guys listening, because I do want to help you with your case. And I don't like just talking about me, about my case. Because my case was a horrible one. There's no question it was a horrible one. So does anyone have any questions tonight or any topic they want to talk about? Because I will help you. It looks a little bright there. Let me see if I can tone it down. Oh my goodness, yes. I don't know why it got so bright, but it did. I don't know. Is my voice too loud? I never know if my voice is too loud. I'm going to try there. How's my voice tonight? Can somebody tell me? Are they hear me okay? I have a case story that I can tell you, Andrea. I never got to sue with that good outcome, but I'd like to hear about that. I know Vince Davis has a lot of stories about that. I don't know if anybody has one that could tell me. Now, my case was really bad. But this social worker committed perjury. She lied on the stand. How it started off is that my wife's sister and husband wanted to adopt one of her children. We didn't want that to happen. We thought they were friends of the family. Instead, they were trying to take our children. So they went through the adoption process, even though we disagreed, even though we're supposed to be family reunification. So this adoption process, you go there before the court, and everybody has to swear that the information is saying is true. Well, Vincent is a good lawyer, and this is where I've seen him perform. He played a cat and mouse game where he was able to get the person to commit perjury. And it was like this. He started off because they were interested in the adopting our kids. So what he did, he tried to see if the parents were qualified. And so he was asking some simple questions like she was asking, the social worker was on the stand, and they're asking, how good are the parents that want to adopt him and everything? What's your feeling about it? And of course, she says they're great parents. They'll be perfect for our daughter. See, what's happened, they convinced her daughter to be adopted because she didn't want anything to do with this, but she retaliated later. Anyway, what happened is Vincent asked a series of questions to get her kind of lost because I know he had something up his sleeve. I didn't know what, but he had something planned. He had some documentation that he got some dirt on them. And what it was, there was a question he asked them. He's after saying what kind of parents and what good parents would be. Have they ever had domestic violence? And the social worker says, oh, no, they've never had domestic violence. Well, then he kind of played coy and he sort of said, well, he pulled out a folder and looked inquisitive and he said, tell me. And he started reading these reports. Well, there were police reports of domestic violence by the couple, my wife's sister and husband. And they were bad domestic. There were violence. There was like physical violence they're doing domestic. See, domestic violence doesn't have to be physical. It can be just verbal. It can be sexual harassment too. So he was leading her on. And she very said, oh, there's no domestic violence. Well, when she said there, but then he started reading the report and her face turned bright red. She was so embarrassed because she had committed a lie. She had committed perjury. And now she was liable to be sued for millions of dollars. It's not for a few bucks. They do $1 million lawsuits. He does big lawsuits, 10, 20, 30 million, $50 million lawsuits. And he's won a lot of them. And I'll never forget when the judge says, well, I'm sorry, we don't think the parents are good enough. So the social worker left the courtroom embarrassing. And the family that wanted to adopt her left really upset. And of course, it may have sealed my coffin because my daughter was angry because we blocked her and she didn't want to be blocked. And that was okay. I'll get the legal insurance in just a second, Nancy. I'm helping out Andrea with the story. I'm helping out Andrea with a story. Oh, okay. Uh, Let me see here. Yes, I agree with you, Nancy. Yes, it does matter. If they lie, they commit perjury. If a person commits perjury, they can be sued, a civil lawsuit worth millions of dollars. If they violate your civil rights or your constitutional rights, they can sue. And that's what Vincent Davis does. He's my attorney for fighting CPS, and he does civil lawsuits. He does criminal. He's a criminal attorney. He does criminal law. He also does CPS. He's won back thousands of children, and he has family law, um, dependency law, and juvenile law. So he can do 5 things right there. So in my story, it was getting really embarrassing to the social worker who left the stand, almost crying because she lied. Anyway, she retaliated by coaching our daughter to divorce as parents. Her, along with the CASA worker and the judge, influenced our daughter to make that decision. Now, at 12 years of age, you don't know about divorce. You certainly don't know about a birth certificate or a social security card, or you may have heard the term, but they changed her name. She was coached to change her name completely. She has no remnants of her name at all. Her middle name was Hanalei. It's the most beautiful name because it's a beautiful place. It's in Kauai. It's a garden island, and I love Hanalei in the North Shore there. I used to have a home there until I had to sell it. And so she was coached to change her name. So she has a completely different name. But that wasn't enough for her. They also told her she could seal her original birth certificate, get a new birth certificate, put the people that she was staying with as her parents, as her not biological, but as her parents. And then she got a second social security card, was double dipping for my social security retirement. I was already getting additional funding for my 3 children because I'm over the age of 65 at the time. I think you're in over the 65 or 70. Maybe I was 70. I don't remember. I think it was 70. Anyway, I was getting additional compensation for my 3 children. So not only did she continue to get the money, she never got the money, by the way. It went to her foster care parents, and they were doing that. And so it really is hard. It's the most hardest thing to do there. When you have a daughter that doesn't want to see you, she could easily be swayed. She could be easily swayed. She certainly could be swayed. And so what happened was she got her new birth certificate, sealed the old one. I found that out by going to the records office because I was getting a birth certificate for my son. And I asked, can I get one for my daughter? Now, I have my daughter's original birth certificate. It's still tucked away, but I didn't have it accessible. They said, no, we can't do that. She sealed the birth certificate. She has a new birth certificate and a new social security number and a card. Well, what she was doing, she continued to get funding from me that went to the adopted parents or the caregiving parents, where you call them, the foster care. So they're getting that money. Then she was getting another set of money given to the foster care parents who were taking care of her. And then they had the audacity. This thing gets more strange. They did a video of my daughter, the CASA person, and the judge, and the social worker, saying how great it is to be adopted. And if things are really bad, you can adopt your parents. And that was retaliation because we stopped her being adopted by my wife's sister and husband. And so it was hard. And there's Foster Joe, who says, this happened to my 14-year-old daughter. A judge allowed her to stay in Ontario, and CPS convinced her she was better off with them than us. And after family court dispute and abductions, CPS always protects the abuser. Yep, CPS does that a lot. I don't know where you're from. I guess, are you from Canada? We've already had several people from Canada that called in, so you're in a new country. But I'm glad they have it there. Fetcher Joe says, these agents of CPS only use, stay away, emotional manipulation to gain trust for profit. Our children are being trafficked by CAS in Canada. Well, welcome, Canada. You're from Ontario, Canada. Well, welcome. You're about the fifth Canadian that I've heard from at CPS. So I'm so glad you joined me. There was another case in Canada. What happened there is that this family is on vacation, and because they stayed at a youth hostel or stayed at some place where it's cheap, the hotel's really expensive, they took the children away from them. They took these were American citizens, all with passports and stuff, and the Canadian people took them in because they found them at the youth hostel, and the children were quite young, and they said, why aren't they in school? Well, they weren't first grade level kids. They were 4 and 5 and whatever the case would be, and they're on vacation with their mother. And she went to the embassy, and the embassy did nothing for her. They took her kids, shipped them off to Florida. The Canadians did this. And this is atrocious. It gets worse and worse. The mother's gone to New York. Well, she first went to the embassy in Canada. They did nothing from her. Nothing. I cannot believe they did nothing. I mean, that is the worst thing I've ever heard of. And so she's been on my show several times and trying to get help here. So I know about Canada. I know about the mounted police. And I have indigenous people in Canada. They're called the First Nation, by the way. And by the way, if people want to know, the American Indians, whether they're in Canada or in South America or in Central America or in North America, they are the first immigrants. They were here long before the Vikings were, and long before the Pilgrims came here or the explorers. So these people that we abused and take care of are really bad. So I'm glad that you're a Mohawk. We're glad to meet you there. Hold on one second. I need to step away from my screen for a second. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, and I do apologize. I'm a family man, and one of my fine children is here from college. He still goes around and sees his dad. He's my son. He's my youngest. And of course, this child protection thing isn't his cup of tea. It's very unpleasant that he was in. He can tell you all the pros and cons about it. You're half Mohawk. Okay, that's good. There's a thing called the ICWA, and Canada has the same thing. They have another one called the Canadian Indian Child Welfare Act. I don't know what year it is, but the Americans is 1978. 1978. Anyway, I want to continue my story that Andrea, who is asking me the question, she's from outside of Chicago, Illinois, a place called Kankakee. It's a home at Victorian Homes. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful place. I checked it all out. I think it's great. But she asked a question about the case. So anyway, my daughter is taken from mom and dad. No chance of reunification. There was no effort put in by CPS. Never once did I have a visitation with my daughter. When she was taken along with my two boys and put into a shelter and then temporarily with some relatives till they finally got in a group home and then into single family homes, never was there any attempt by CPS to have me meet with my daughter or anything like that, or her mother. This is straightly them doing the dirty work because they're angry at me. See, I fought them. I'm very articulate. I sent them emails. I met with the director in Orange County. The director is a complete liar in Orange County Child Protection Services. He has a Taj Mahal of a house. I mean, a house, his office. His workers work in all simple office buildings, old and everything like that, but not him. He has a state of art. It looks something out of like Dubai. Or if you think about the Emerald House in The Wizard of Oz. But they're very corrupt there. They're very corrupt. And they did definitely, it's wrong. And I can still sue them. I am looking right now at a synopsis that one of the people in here have done about my daughter. And it's pretty heavy what you can still do when they commit perjury and suable offense. I would have Mr. Davis do it, but I don't have the money for the retainer. I spent all my money on fighting CPS. I had hired him and I spent all my money to get my boys back. And it took a lot of money. I had to quick sell my home because I ran out of money. I lost my forever home at the age, in 2017 is when I lost my home. But anyway, it is sad. They took away my home. I mean, it's cost me millions and millions of dollars with CPS. My home had a great value, but I had to quick sell it, and I lost the value in it. I lost over $1 million in a home sale. I mean, you're right. I at one time was very wealthy, what I consider wealthy. A lot of people today don't think that's wealthy. To me, it is. To me, it really is. And okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No. Okay. So, that is a story. It's a true story. But what got even worse, just this last couple months, I got a strange letter from social services saying I owed them $26,000. But before I had owed them, they said, you need to show account of how that money was spent. So they talked about a time period. Well, the time period they got was when she was living with the foster parents. So they're accusing me of not using the money given to me on my daughter. And I had a meeting right away. I tried to talk to the social worker at social services, not so Social Security. It was terrible. I am finding by talking to and I started going through um, people, and right during the time that all the workers were laid off. What was it? The security at Social Security and all that. Oh, when we ran out of money to pay the people, and the food stamp place was closed down, and the food stamp cards were closed down. Whatever. Anyway, I went there and had an appointment with them, and I talked to the lady at the time there, and she was trying to listen to what I was saying. And after talking and telling her that, she says, "Well, do you know they've dropped it?" I said, "What do you mean? They didn't tell me. Let me speak to the manager." I spoke to the manager. Manager had the same name as a social worker. It's so funny how they lie. I catch Social Security, social services, child protection services, and even the IRS and the state franchise board in California. Now, maybe my show is live and the state franchise board, the IRS, the Social Security, the child protection services, and social service listens to my show. But I call a spade as a spade. They were accusing me of not spending the money. Now, it was stupid. First of all, I maintained a room for her place when she was kidnapped by social services. It cost money for the room, the house, the mortgage. Not only that, her bedroom was kept immaculate and all her furniture stuff. When we sold, I moved all the stuff. I had the moving costs. I had storage fees. And you split it among 4 people or whatever people it was, it well exceeded the amount they were questioning. And the time period was all wrong. And they weren't giving me the information. Now, it's been almost a month or two. I'm going to send a self-service letter, certified mail, make sure it got there, that the matter is dropped. Because I'm dealing right now with a safe deposit box that was used a long time ago, 10 or 15 years ago. They're coming trying to me for $600. It's very important with documentation. You always send self-serving letters or emails. You just recount what took place, send it on. It's your understanding that this and this take place, so there'll be no further action. When you send that, send it certified mail so you make sure you got there. Because they'll say, "Oh, we never got it. Oh, we never got it." Or they may refuse to accept it. I just know how bad these public agencies have gotten. And I'm so happy for Doge. But people are not happy with Donald Trump and all the stuff he's doing right now. He's investigating social services right now. He's investigating CPS because there is corruption. He had made campaign promises. One of them, he'll check out the government agencies are bad. That affects CPS. That affects CPS. And stupid, the wasteful spending going on. I know CPS Richmond, Kentucky is investigating where $1 million went. They found one of the social workers, had embezzled $600,000. There's so much money being wasted. It's unbelievable. It's a $1 trillion business for CPS. They send billions of dollars to the state, and the state in turn sends millions to the counties. Every state will have counties. North Carolina has over 100 counties. California has 50 counties. It's not because of the size of the state. It's basically the density, and so there are more counties in North Carolina than California. But it's still a lot of money, especially when they're given $35,000 for adoption into foster care, or given $10,000 for special need kids on top of the $20,000. They get another $35,000. They get another $30,000 for special needs, and 20 for the general. And they're being abused in foster care. Foster care is bad. Now, I hate to say all this negative stuff about this, but I do care. And thank you for the love from Fletcher Joe and Margaret King and Kenny Parker. Thank you for the emoji there. And now, I got this dumb. Oh boy. Oh boy, where is it? All right, good, Nancy, that you're listening. That's good. You're asking about legal insurance, and I can help you, Nancy. You're in North Carolina, and I can help you in a second here. Yeah. Does it matter what they lie about on stand? Yes, it does. There, you. Yes, it does. I would think a lie is a lie, and it ruins her. It does. It does. Now, I don't know Canadian. First of all, I'm not an attorney. I have a disclaimer at the bottom of my page. I am experienced, loving father who has 43 years of marriage experience and 61 years of working. I'm still trying to work. It's hard as you get older. I'm 76 now, but I don't have Canadian or American law, but I know enough from working with Mr. Davis and talking to over 3,000 people. But I have talked about Canadian and how difficult it is to work with Canadian law and Canadian constables and their mounted police and stuff, and how much they've gotten the indigenous people in Canada, the First Nation Indians, the First Nation Indians. Now, Nancy says, is that what you're going through? It seems to be a lot more common inside CPS I ever knew. It is. It is. If they lie on the ex parte order, yes, they lie all the time. I wish I could afford Vincent Davis again right now. I wish I can. Now, he will go to other states, but it is expensive. He's $500 an hour. And if you are in Arcadia, California, that's LA County, his retainer is approximately $5,000. But it all depends on your length of your case, or how much complexity and how long it's been going on. So that's the retainer fee. Now, I did quote a retainer fee in Georgia and Wisconsin. It was about $125,000. He has to pay for, and somebody suggested we can have him stay at our place, whatever, that's good. He has to pay for accommodations, airfare, ground transportation, food, and the license for that state. That's where a lot of that money comes from. Now, Father Joe is talking about a 14-year-old daughter. Judge allowed her to stay in Ontario. Okay, I was reading about that. And I don't know what the PI is in Ontario, but I imagine it's something to do with CPS. And CFSRB is way to fight back, but the judges do not use that any relevant evidence. Oh, boy. Yeah. Yes, they made child abduction is done in Canada. It's all about money. It's all about money. They're not your friends. I agree with you. And you're half Mohawk. Well, glad to meet you. I don't know how good the Lakota Sioux, the Mohawk, because I have 25% of Lakota Sioux in me. Yes, I know the residential school. Indian people have been treated so bad. Wow, 2/3 more funding for Indigenous children in Canada to the child abductors. Wow. They lie by proxy, so do lawyers and even the police, with no due process provided. In Canada, they're militarizing the police, and these agencies are ruin the lives of our family and children. I believe it. They go on vacation every time they abduct and steal your children. There is a huge commission, at least in Canada. I'm going to end my show because it's 8 o'clock and it's 2 minutes after. They brainwash your children to lie and disown their. I agree. They do. It's what's called alienation, and alienation is illegal. They traffic your child and they alienate you. And thank you for saying I look good for 76. My eye doctor, the ophthalmologist, said, you got to stop wearing contacts. They're for young people. You're too old to be wearing contact lenses. And I said to her, I'm sorry if I'm too old or young, but I feel energetic. I can still get on a skateboard and still paddle out in the water. I've still got my gills on. I'm an ocean person. And I live 3 blocks from the beach, south of LA at Surf City, USA. I have not forgotten your question about legal insurance. I will do that lastly. I'm just trying to catch up with all the text messages. Our police forces target First Nations. 2/3 of them going to prison, group home, and foster care is populated by First Nations. That's because it's easy to take people that are poor. It's easy to take people. It's not their fault that they're poor. The Irish and Scots, too. In the 1700s, were taken from homes in Ireland and Scotland and taken to the U.S. and Canada. Believe it or not. Oh, well, this used to be a penal colony in the United States and Canada. If you did something bad in Great Britain, you're shipped off here to the colonies. Thank you, Nancy. Thank you. Oh, Prince Edward Island. Okay, thank you for telling me that, Father Joe. Child and Family Review Service Board in Canada. Okay, I fought to this venue and won, but the judge in court did not listen to the judgment. Of course not. Nice to meet you too, Father Joe. That is so nice. Oh my God, that's less than what I paid. Yes, I understand that. Now, I want to end off by looking up legal insurance in North Carolina. So you start off, I don't know the city you're in, but I'm going to say North Carolina. North Carolina. Carol, C, oh, no L there. Oh, geez. It helps if you spell things right. Okay, North Carolina. Then you're going to put in CPS. And then your question is legal insurance. Okay, North Carolina does not provide legal insurance in the traditional sense. Instead, the term is likely a misunderstanding of the two separate entities. The Child Protection Service, which is a government function, and which is what you need to look for. Now, they gave an outfit there in North Carolina called an NSM Insurance Group. They'll do a care provider insurance, and they may do legal. I know Allstate. If you look at Allstate, they do too. So, there's the Legal Aid Society you need to go look at. And you got to look at the state and local police defender's office, but they give public defenders. So that's not what you want. There is a commercial insurance product, not a service for individuals to get legal help with CPS. Okay, I want to know that one. Where did I get that? It's NSM Insurance Group Care. There we go. There we go. Let me see if I get a phone number on them. Okay, Program Business, Navicor Insurance. Here's the number. They've been doing this for 25 years. 817-996-5638. And they provide insurances that might be able, that you can afford. They, let me see what they do here. General liability, professional liability, sexual abuse, molestation liability, automobile property, equipment breakdown, umbrella, crime, inland, cyber liability, directors, officers, employment. Yes. Just tell them that number I gave you there. There we go. I helped someone here. I helped you, Nancy. I think Nancy is North Carolina. Did you get that, Nancy? Because I do have to go. Nancy, did you get that? Good night. I hear you. That is good. And I want to thank you all. I want to thank, I hear you, Nancy Hall from North Carolina, Father Joe from Ontario, Canada, a Mohawk. And then I want to thank also, who else has been on here? Margaret King for the emoji, and she's from Kern River, California. And I hear you. I want to thank Andrea from Kankakee, Kankakee, Illinois, outside Chicago. I'm sorry, Andrea. I'm missing. So I think I covered everybody. And I'm going to be on tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I hope to see you too. I want to God bless our Canadian person tonight and all the people from the United States, but all the people from around the world. I have a really sweet lady in South Africa that needs prayers all the time. Her 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 name is Leica Herzenberg from South Africa, from the Northwest Province. Her child was abducted by a pedophile, and the police there are not doing anything to help her. Anyway, I'm here to help you. I'm your friend. I'm a loving father. I'm a caring, loving man. I will help you. And if you ask me questions, I help you. I have lots of knowledge. And I want to see you all again. And please do not stop fighting for your family or your children. If you think about it, come here first before you give up. Talk to me first. I will help you. I've helped out hundreds of people on here. I've helped them get back their children, help them stop on medical trafficking. There is so many different kinds of trafficking that CPS does. They get away with it. They get away with it. And then the last thing I'm going to put on there is that I'm going to put on the Department of Government Efficiency. That's the new federal government that President Trump had started in January. And he is cleaning house. He's doing a lot of things that people don't like. He's closed our borders. People don't like that. Because in the process of closing our borders, a lot of people are in here illegally. And, you know, this thing about rights, you know, he's doing as best as he can. It's kind of hard to weed out. When you have millions and millions of people that come in with open doors for 4 years, it's hard to clean house. The drugs is another thing he's trying to stop. They don't like what he's doing with the drug problem. They don't realize that there are countries that have drugs that are killing our kids, killing our parents, our loved ones. Fentanyl is really bad here in the United States. If you don't believe it, ask the dead people. Too many people are playing politics, and he's not a politician. He's a businessman, and he knows how to do things. Say it one more time, the phone number. Okay. It's called NSM, Nancy Sam Mike. And it's area code 817-996-5638. It's Nova Core, Novacore insurance. And you want an individual service a plan. Also, Allstate. Check with Allstate. I don't get any kickbacks, and I don't know anything. I would check with Allstate. I'd check with Progressive. The other day, Progressive was offering pet insurance. Pet insurance. So it's 817-996-5638. Now, did you get that? Did you get that, Nancy? Did you get that? And you can text me, Nancy, and I'll text you back. I'll text you back. So, Nancy, that is for your insurance, legal insurance, for anybody. 817-996-5638. If they can't help you, ask them who can. It's called Nova Core. Now, I don't know anything about this company. I haven't had a chance to review it. I will look at it. I will look at it. I will look at it. I know nothing about this company. But it looks like they'll help out a lot of people. They'll help out nonprofit organizations. They'll help out, pregnancy health centers and Head Start and YMCAs. It sounds like they'll cover liability, professional liability, sexual abuse, molestation liability, automobile, property, equipment breakdown, umbrella, excess, crime, inland marine, CPS, director's offices liability, employment practices, fictitious liability. So, it's something that should be working, I guess. It should be getting going. It's involved, it's available in every state of the United States. Every state has it. I don't know if it'll work up in Canada, but hopefully that helps you. Tell me how you guys find out about it when you get back. So anyway, there'll be a video that'll follow me right now. God bless you. And this is a Bob Pace signing off. Bob Pace signing off. And please take care of yourself, okay? Please take care of yourself. And that's Pacific time tomorrow morning at 10 a.m.
A vivid picture is encrypted in your mind as the critics get in line like they're witnessing a crime. But then you notice there's a shiver in your spine from the feelings of discontentment and bitterness combined. Heartbroken when you listen to the judges, another kid's innocence corrupted. And if you go against it, it's destructive. Consider this predicament the toughest, but we believe in a system fit for justice. Child Protective Services only pretends to save it. The one solution for this is worthy of instant praises. 30 years of experience with relentless cases. Allow me to introduce him. This is Vincent Davis, defending you when they don't think a mother fits the role. Is it juvenile dependency or government control? Observe the pain in their eyes. It's time for us to realize we are the last ones left. Put your faith